We are Gold Ivy.
Our mission is to empower you to own and unleash your truth.
Stories of resiliency are gold, and ivy grows in hard places.
Those hard places are what creates space for light to shine through.
You decide what works for your daily life and how to transform our lessons into your gold.
This is Ivy Unleashed,
a Gold Ivy production.
Dre, tell the people as fast as you can why Move with Gold Ivy is the last mind-body fitness program they'll ever have to buy, and how women are finally getting the transformation they're looking for.
I love a challenge. Let's go. Two big things. One, Move provides a fun atmosphere to work out in that actually gets you excited to show up and follow through with your goals. Not only is there an element of fun, but we've carefully curated a program that makes it as easy as possible for women to take care of themselves. And two, a Move membership addresses every aspect of your health, mind and body. Our Move members are getting the physical transformation they've been hoping for and feeling like they've finally found the group that motivates them on a daily basis. What did I miss?
As a Move member, you receive a weekly workout plan, weekly live or Zoom workouts, an on-demand workout library, transformational quarterly reset challenges, monthly coaching calls, monthly masterminds with health experts, and a private group of motivated members for support and accountability.
It's ready for you when you're ready to boost your metabolism, confidence, and feel your absolute best. Join Move or learn more by clicking the link in the show notes, clicking the link in our bio on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok, or by messaging us on any social channel at Gold Ivy Health Co.
It's your time. Move for your health, move for your confidence, move for your mental clarity, move with Gold Ivy.
The Boundary Boss did it again. Terry Cole created something that every person on the planet needs because it will help their relationships and peace of mind exponentially. It's the Boundary Boss Workbook. The right words and strategies to free yourself from burnout, exhaustion, and overgiving.
Boundaries are necessary and a beautiful part of relationships if you have the tools and support to create and express them. I don't know about you, but setting boundaries, even though I know they're necessary, can be anxiety-provoking because I know I could potentially make someone uncomfortable.
In the Boundary Boss Workbook, you'll have Terry holding your hand in the process of understanding different types of boundaries and integrating them into your life to help you have stronger relationships and be able to show up authentically and at peace.
I'm using it to set more effective boundaries, and it's helping me protect my energy and set boundaries without guilt no matter who I'm around. Terry provides mindfulness practices, customizable scripts, mindset shifts, even fun games to help you understand yourself and effectively communicate your boundaries.
I'm using the workbook to create awareness of my rigid boundaries, and I'm using Terry's self-care tools to help me feel more at ease. The workbook is full of exercises that help me understand how I'm trying to protect myself and gives me more loving ways to communicate my needs.
You don't have to set boundaries alone. Help yourself out with effectively understanding and communicating your boundaries, and lean on the best tool out there.
Snag your copy of the Boundary Boss Workbook by clicking the link in the show notes or head to boundarybossworkbook.com today. And now to this episode of the Ivy Unleashed podcast.
Welcome back to the Ivy Unleashed podcast. You are here with Brooke and Andrea, and we're just doing a fireside chat.
We are. I mean, we got the candle. It's a little fire, but it's a fire.
Speaking of fire, so we just got back from Vegas. Travel. We haven't really traveled for work in this capacity yet, which is really exciting. And so today we want to just fill you in on how things are going and also how we're taking care of ourselves in the midst of a very busy season, and hopefully inspire you with some tips, ask each other some questions that we're curious about, and you just get to hear and listen in.
I love it. We got to circle back to the fire talk because this was so interesting. So first of all, if you're ever in an Uber with us, or you're our driver or Lyft, we don't really.
And you might be listening if you have been our Lyft or
oh my
our Lyft driver, because we gave out so many cards because you're just driving.
Oh my gosh.
As a Lyft driver, and we want to sprinkle some light into your life, into your day.
Drivers are the best. Like we had some good luck with
we had some good convos. Our question was, if you could give a 5-minute TED Talk on any topic, the last message you leave with this world, what would it be?
No pressure at all.
No pressure. We got some great answers.
They delivered.
We got spirituality. Our Uber driver home talked about just being a decent human, that life is hard as it is. And then you're going to be an a-hole. Like, no, not needed. Be a good human. I loved that one. And the most interesting one we got was fire death. And what's really interesting about this.
Brooke goes, say more.
What's really interesting about this one is we had just heard about a story where a woman a year ago had a house fire. And so we were thinking about that. That was top of mind. And we kept seeing just these signs of fire.
We were in a room called En Fuego. We would see and maybe we were looking for it, sure, once we started catching on. But it was 5 different things happened. And we were in the Uber when he said fire death. I'm like, we have had so many signs of fire. What does this mean for our life? And we both had different interpretations of it, which was so interesting. And then we asked everybody that we were around, what do you think this means for us?
But so he had said his reasoning for fire death, just for everyone curious, because that's a very intriguing answer.
Should we tuck and roll?
He basically investigates what starts fires. So it makes sense when he said that. But we were very taken aback. And our next Lyft driver was like, did you ask to get out of the damn car? I'll stop here. You can end this trip early. But we just kept seeing fire everywhere. And we're like, is this a sign? And one Uber driver said, or Lyft driver said, just be careful. Could be the universe sending you some signs. I took it as, when someone's looking for something and you know where it is and you're like, warmer, warmer, hot, hot. I felt very aligned with our trip of what we were doing, moving people and speaking. And I took it as God being like, you're on fire. Like hot, 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 hottest as it could be. You hit gold. This is where you should be.
I like it. I like it a lot. And my take was, fire keeps you alive, keeps things burning. It's so good. But if there's too much of it, it can go out of control. And so for me, having 3 kids, we were away for this job for 4 days. And for me, if that was something that I was like, ooh, I want more of this, it would burn out my family. It would burn me out. And so that's the interpretation I took, where I liked it. I needed it. It gave me life. I felt on fire out there. It was so great. But it's travel, I want it, but maybe just not every week.
Yeah. Which when I came back and I told Ian, my boyfriend, about it, he was like, I wouldn't count your chickens before they hatch. And I'm like, well, right. But we're putting that in the universe that we want these things and we could get a whole lot of them and then burn out. But I get what he's saying. Enjoy what's coming and worry about it when you have all these opportunities and you get the power to say, no, this doesn't feel aligned. But right now we do want to travel in a way that aligns with our family. And so that was cool. Just seeing signs, being with each other. We were up really early. We met friends in Vegas. Shout out Zach and Ellie. Shout out Ryan Sandstrom. What are the odds that some of our favorite people happen to be in Vegas at the same time and we could meet up with them? Divine timing.
So fun. And Brooke learned something new about me. I am deathly afraid of heights, and she didn't know that. I don't know how, and it's probably because I've gone skydiving and I love roller coasters. But I was panicking in this elevator going up to the tower deck of the Eiffel Tower in Vegas. And I don't know about anybody else, but I think as a human, if you're going hundreds and hundreds of feet above ground, how are you not panicking inside?
There were so many people jammed in this elevator, and I was just on high that I was with my friends because they don't live in Minnesota. And I was we had a lot of distractions, but you clearly, you were not having it.
I was just hiding in the corner and trying not to look. I wasn't trying to make a scene, but I didn't want to be in there.
Yeah. She's like, you're not afraid right now? And the girl in the middle was like, well, you're making me nervous.
Yeah. It's weird to me that people also wouldn't be trying not to look, but I love it though. That's the thing. It's scary movies, thrilling things. In the moment you don't like it, but you like it. Do you know what I'm saying? Does that sound weird?
Well, and once we were out of the elevator, you were fine.
Yes.
Which is also wild because then you can really see how high up you are.
I think it's that the elevator could malfunction and drop. That's what I'm worried about.
Fair. It was super cool though. If you're in Vegas and you haven't done the Eiffel Tower viewing deck, it was cool because we got to see the Sphere that's brand new. We got to see the Bellagio water show from way up high. I put a story on our Instagram of a welcome party just for us.
Thanks, Vegas.
Today's episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. Every episode of Ivy Unleashed is dedicated to empowering you to take ownership of your health. And what it really comes down to is prioritizing your mental health.
We've both seen the beauty and growth that therapy can bring and are thrilled to partner with BetterHelp to allow you the opportunity to feel heard and seen by a professional. The National Alliance on Mental Health reports that 155 million people live in a designated mental health professional shortage area, and BetterHelp is working to close that gap.
I've personally used BetterHelp and loved it because it was all online, making it super convenient. The biggest piece for me was how affordable it is. I was able to choose the therapist that met my needs. I came in with wanting to work on childhood trauma and anxiety, and it was unbelievable to see how many options I had with all the different backgrounds of therapists.
With BetterHelp, you have access to a network of over 30,000 licensed and experienced therapists. Therapy is all about deepening your self-awareness. And sometimes we can't see our own patterns and behaviors until we talk them out and get an unbiased perspective.
It's really nice to have someone who doesn't know you and has the professional background to help you thrive in your daily life. It has made the world of a difference with every relationship in my life, including the one with myself.
To get started, all you have to do is fill out a brief questionnaire about your needs and preferences and choose your therapist out of the options they give you. You can talk to your therapist however you feel comfortable, whether it's via text, chat, phone, or video call. Also, you can switch therapists at no additional charge until you find the right fit for you.
The best investment you can make is in yourself. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/goldivy. That's betterhelp.com/goldivy.
Take the first step to inner peace and freedom today.
This is important. If you are sick of spending money on product after product for your face, this is for you. I've spent so much time, money trying to find the perfect skincare line when really all I needed was clean ingredients and something that actually did the trick. And that's where the Golden Secret skincare line comes into play.
All right, what products are you using now that you love?
It's been a few years now of regularly using the Golden Secret's Heal All Oil, and my skin has never looked better. I spent years struggling with acne, and I'm so thankful Jessie Golden created the Heal All Oil. I use it both morning and night as my cleanser, and it's safe to say oil cleansing is where it's at. Clean and simplicity are what's most important to me, and the Heal All Oil and every Golden Secret product is just that.
I love when people share what and why they use skincare products. I finally created a habit with the combo of the Sorcerer's Stone Gua Sha tool and the Heal All Oil. I'm already seeing more definition in my jawline and cheekbones, which is so exciting. Jessie also provides tutorials on exactly how to use all her tools and products, and I'm telling everyone because I know it can be so overwhelming to start.
If you're up for trying a new skincare ritual that doesn't harm you or the environment, but instead works in harmony to awaken it, The Golden Secrets is available at thegoldensecrets.com. We're thrilled to tell you about this amazing company and give you a discount code for your future The Golden Secrets purchases.
Yes, use code GOLDIVY for 10% today and keep watching us at Gold Ivy Health Co on all social channels as we continue sharing our results with the Golden Secrets skincare line. You can find the link and code in the show notes of this episode. Yeah, it was a really fun trip. I think too, when you're living in alignment, you're doing things that have an impact, right? We're leading workouts that help energize people. We're speaking, we are sharing our stories. So now Brooke and I are getting on more stages and being super vulnerable. Mm-hmm. It's a powerful thing when people, they see this version of us that's very upbeat, very lively, and people want that energy, right? But it comes because we're so happy to be where we are. We've shared a story of resilience and wanting some extra guidance, wanting to find out what's wrong with our health, what's going on, searching for answers, searching for the guidance you might need in your life. And so when you hear someone's story, I feel like it connects you, right? And to share it is scary. I mean, we've talked about so many things on this podcast, but when you're in front of a bunch of professionals that have never met you too, and it's a really powerful thing. And something that we learned, we were talking with a bunch of people when we were working our event, and this man named Jeff, he was awesome. He came up and he said that the reason why public speaking is so scary for people, he was talking like generations back, like hundreds of years back, is that if you stood in front of people to speak, usually it was that tribal and you were like in trouble. Like you got in trouble for something, you had to like stand up and like state why you did what you did.
It's like talk about epigenetics.
Yeah.
It's like ingrained in us.
That's why so many people don't ever want to speak in public, or that's why you have like some people like break out when they talk in front of people, or you can barely breathe, or like for me, I get shaky sometimes. That it's a powerful thing. So that was a little fun fact that I learned. I'm like, that makes sense. Okay. I have something to blame it on now. I get so nervous.
Yeah. Well, and I've heard too, right? Not making it about you. When you take you out of the equation and you're just speaking to people to serve, it makes you a lot less nervous. We had so many different lingo phrases that we said to ourselves. Like I heard Ed Milet say, I'm built for this. So that's what I said before. And I told Andrew, no matter how nervous you are, do not tell me you're nervous, because it's going to freak me out. The energy is contagious. And I think doing it together helped a ton. And it was really the start of, okay, where do we go from here now? Like we did it. We created this. We said we wanted this. So whatever is on your heart listening today, that you have this inclination, you want to do it, our mind and our intention is powerful. Like we truly do have the pen to write our stories of what do we want life to look like. It might look a little different, but it's going to be better. But you truly can create whatever you set your mind to.
Yeah, we have an episode coming up with Craig Siegel. If you do not follow Craig Siegel or listen to his podcast and you're into personal development, even 1%, this dude is
even amazing. If you're not, you're going to be after listening to
amazing.
Craig.
He's an author, he's a speaker. And so we just recorded with him recently, and just it is so powerful to think about. And he said, it's like, you don't have to start a new life. Like you're just taking all the lessons up to now to reinvent whatever you want that you know that will serve you better moving forward. And I think it can be overwhelming to think like, is this for me? Should I try this? Like you don't have to throw everything away. Like you don't have to totally burn the boats to become a new person, right? But it's like just allowing yourself to play with that idea. Maybe that's the starting point. Like in your mind, how good could I feel? If I was doing something else, what would it be? You know, what could give me a little bit more fulfillment? Or I'd wake up a little bit more on fire about it. Or I'd go to bed like hard to go to sleep because I'm just so excited for my next day. You know, our life is so short, and thinking about ways to kind of feel better, whether it's mentally or physically, you know, we talk about it all the time, but it's so much about alignment. And when you feel off, you feel depleted, you feel like, do I create value? You know, you're thinking of these negative thoughts, and it happens. Something needs to shift so that you can live in a way that feels like, man, this is what I've been wanting to do. And this is what I've been missing, right? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be more of an example for someone doing this instead. And it might not be your job. It could be just a new activity that you've been wanting to get back to, or that you tried. It's just continually figuring out what's calling you so that you can feel better. You can feel like you have more purpose and you're living with like a higher vibration, more energy, more excitement.
Energy. That's what I'm hearing you say. And that's what we really spoke on at this event we went to. We brought the energy. We moved people in the morning, got them energized for their day, got them energized during long meetings. And then our presentation, we really hit home energy. Like health is energy. And one thing we spoke on was your energy givers. And are you making the time for those things that give you energy?
Should we tell them what ours were?
No. You have to pay us to come to your stage. No, just kidding.
Which I feel like they could change by the time I get to the next
And
stage.
you could also probably guess if you have been listening for a while, or you know us personally, or you follow on social. Like for me, it's dance. It's laughter. Like, I love to laugh. And I talk about in my speech how laughter is truly the best medicine. And then my third one is getting ready. I spent so much time, and when I'm feeling depressed, like all I want to do is lay in bed. But the simple act of getting up, showering, doing my hair, doing my makeup, I'm like a new person. And when you work from home, and like, yes, we're putting content out there, but we don't always have to get ready. And like for you, you don't have to, and you're fine. But for me, it makes such a difference with my energy. So those are my three.
Yeah. Mine also, not a surprise, running is one of them, getting outside. And Also, just going back to Craig, he was talking about how he feels like his meditation and he's more connected to his source or God when he's running. And that's how I feel. And I feel like sometimes it's hard for me to feel connected when I'm just sitting and squatting in a certain spot. I'm like distracted by the mess on the floor or what I got to do with my kids. So like when I'm away from my house, I'm outside, I have time to myself. I can hear God. I can feel connected to my purpose. I get more creative. I get ideas. And then I try and Snapchat Brooke, but like running is just such a huge energy giver for me. And then adventure and travel, going somewhere new, creating new memories, like just even thinking about it gives me energy, planning it, getting ready for it during the time. I mean, Brooke and I, like, think about it. We have so many stories from this event. Like Brooke and I were in this hotel room and randomly no hot water. Which sucked at the time, but it's a great story. So we're like bent over washing our hair in this bathtub and then trying to take like a quick shower, screaming in there because the water was like ice cold. So I just feel like when you travel, funny things happen. That's where you get stories. That's where you make connections. Like I feel so much closer to Brooke after a trip that we go on. Like I love our road trips. I love when we get to fly somewhere. It's so funny. And then my third is just like deep chats. That's why I love being a host of a podcast. It's like such a gift to sit and talk with someone across the country that's built a business or has a story, and like thinking of these deep chats. I don't know why you'd want to have any other type of conversation.
We don't do small talk around here. Even with our Lyft drivers, we're like, one last message you can leave with the world. They're like, oh gosh, okay, we're going there. Luckily, everyone we talked to was, real great team players. But.
I mean, I bet 90% of their chats, though, are so small talk. How about the weather and how good their flight was or where they're headed to,
Yeah. Yeah, those cold showers, though, man, I didn't do it. We had a tub right next to the shower, and so I took a hot bath and then put my head underneath the faucet and washed my hair. Andrea screamed bloody murder when she got in that shower. And, think about it. You don't have hot water in the shower. You're out of your normal routine. Like travel can really deplete your energy. Mm-hmm. And we were tired when we came back. So those little things during your travel of, okay, what can you do to keep the energy up? What are you ordering for food? How are you speaking to each other? Like being able to laugh off certain situations and not let it completely deplete you or stress you out and have your nervous system go awry. But even I'm thinking when we're back, like getting back into routine, it feels so good. Mm-hmm. And travel reminds me of like how much of a routine person I am.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and recalibrating.
I think though, like something we do well is we try and take a little bits of our routine from home and put them into travel, like we do try to focus on sleep. And like there were nights we were in bed by 9 p.m. and which, it was 11 p.m. here, but still like we're prioritizing getting sleep. We're prioritizing our workouts in the morning. Brooke and I would like chase the sun. Like we got kicked out of the pool area like 5 times because it kept trying to sit in the sun. And because it's off season, like the area we're trying to sit in wasn't open.
We're like, no, we need this.
But the sun's hitting right here. So we'll just sit here till we get kicked out again. They were nice, but yeah, it's just, you got to try and weave in those energy givers that like, are so basic, but they make you feel so much better. We kept refilling our waters and like chasing these healthy snacks so that we had fuel. And
yeah, we were our booth and our table was right next to the snacks, and it was Snickers bars, M&Ms, and so many people were like, oh, they put all the candy next to health coaches. Like, aren't you guys just, so you need that? And we're like, or tempted. And we're like, no.
Yeah.
No.
It's funny how people think about food. A lot of people think like you have to earn the Snickers bar or punish yourself.
Or the things people would say when they would grab it. Right? They'd be like, oh, I'm sitting for a long time. I need this.
I think people assume if you're a health coach or a personal trainer that
we're judging you.
That we're judging you. And we don't feel that way about food, right? Like we know food is medicine and we do try our best to have whole real foods. But taking judgment out of food is like a key component to our coaching. When it comes to that, like, what's going to make you feel better. And it's more about the worthiness. Why are you self-sabotaging and not eating the things? We all do it. I'm in a rut right now when it comes to it. I'm like, I need to count how many veggies I'm having just to get back to this routine of more salads. And, you can notice when your energy's off. So when it comes to energy givers, get back to the basics. What makes you feel better when it comes to water, fruits, vegetables, sunlight, sleep, all of those things. But then also make it personal. Like, what makes you you? Are you weaving those things in? Are you taking care of yourself? We'll never stop saying it. We will never stop hitting that home. We are the people that are going to encourage you to always come back home to yourself. What is it that makes me tick? Am I weaving that in? And then when it's too hard to think about those things, just get back to the basics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think we overcomplicate it, myself included. Right? And yes, there is a time and place for certain supplements and medicine and heavy things, but really, if you don't have those basics down, the rest doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. What are those foundational wellness habits that you have? Because the body, it wants you to feel good. Mm-hmm. And if it doesn't, it's sending you signals. It's sending you symptoms of, hey, listen to me. And if you don't, it's going to keep getting louder and louder and roaring until you're forced to listen. Mm-hmm. And coming back from travel, I feel like my body, it's kind of roaring. It's like, maybe we need some sleep. Maybe we need to not be doing 50 million things. And Craig talked about a conquer list. The mindset shift of, okay, the to-do list to the conquer list, the I get to list. But I said in one morning when I was leading yoga, I said that to-do list never ends, but you do. And knowing that, what are you doing with your time? Right? Yes, there are things we have to get done.
Man, I got to come to yoga with Brooke.
I know. Deep shit. I love it.
Woo,
We're cracking jokes. We're talking about morbid things like death, but it really makes you think. Mm-hmm. Like this to-do list, it's never going to end. But we put so much power. And the reason I say this is because I do it. I live out of my to-do list. Because if I'm not writing things down, I'm not remembering. And that feels terrible. Not remembering. And then last minute, or you mess up, you're holding on to too many things. And so what can you let go of? Because sometimes it's not what can you add in to give you energy. It's what can you let go of, right? Letting go of the need to get this done. And yesterday I'm like, I'm going to take an hour and a half nap and I'm not feeling any shame, any guilt. And you know what I did? Got up for an hour, made myself food, went right back to bed. And it was glorious.
Man, see, sleep, it's so basic, but we feel like a new person once we get some more of it. So it's powerful stuff. Well, thanks for tuning in, everyone. We are just here to remind you that, you've got to tune into what makes you feel fulfilled. You've got to live with some intention so that you can feel on fire, so you can chase your fire, right? We don't want you to be on fire. I mean, kind of.
Whatever it means to you. On fire in a way that you feel aligned and on purpose, and that you're living the life that you want to. Mm-hmm. You're not just going through the motions.
Yeah, and we're living it too. We're with you. You're not alone in this. And keep tuning in, because the episodes that are coming up, we have so many that are recorded that are coming up that are going to help you with being able to be present and enjoying your life in a very variety pack of ways. We've got Miss Francois, who is the funniest lady.
I said laughter was medicine, and I meant it. And so we're bringing on a comedian.
Oh my gosh.
You're going to giggle so hard.
Authors and we've got this guest we have coming on next week is a pastor and an attorney and a podcast host and a mom. Like, she's just this, when I say variety pack,
you're getting a variety.
We're getting a variety pack. And so keep tuning in. Let us know what you want to hear. We love to hear what you need, what you're wanting from us.
Yeah. And our next few episodes, we're going to do a Q&A. So you'll see we'll be putting it on our stories if you don't follow us already at Gold Ivy Health Co. on Instagram and Facebook. We're going to do a little box where you can put any questions. They're anonymous. You can also message us your questions if you want to hear it live on the air.
Yes. Love it.
Well, again, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for pouring into you. No greater investment than when it comes to pouring into you. So with that being said, go take care of you and let us know how you're doing that. We want to hear from you. You matter. We matter. We're in this together. Let's go kick some ass and be on fire, but not actually on fire. You know what I mean?
I like that. That's a piece of gold right there. This is Gold Ivy signing off.
Listen to your truth and go chase your gold. We want to thank you and encourage you to celebrate yourself for taking the time to learn and get inspired in your one beautiful life. And if this podcast means something to you, it would mean so much to us if you'd be willing to take 30 seconds to help support our mission to keep bringing you inspiring stories and guests.
First, following the podcast is important because it helps you never miss an episode. To do this, just go to the Ivy Unleashed podcast show page on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts, and then just tap the plus sign in the upper right-hand corner or click on follow.
While you're there, if you'd be so kind to give us a 5-star rating and review and share your favorite episode with a friend, we'd be so grateful for your support.
We are thrilled you're here and are so happy that you're taking time to prioritize your wellness, self-discovery, and growth with us.